This upper body workout is simple yet incredibly brutal. We're starting off with the bench press with 90 pounds of chains, of course, working up to 1 rep max. This teaches you how to strain like no other and is the ultimate overloading press. I recommend these when you're feeling really strong or gradually ramped up the chain weights over many weeks.
Starting to get heavy. It may not look like it, but trust me, when you unrack it, it's something else.
So here's my max set for the lift. Definitely an RP 10 and technique stayed solid.
$315 plus 90 chain at 170 body weight. This is hands down the strongest I've ever been, pound for pound.
Alright, looks like my strength is already near peak status. It's honestly insane how fast muscle memory can take care of you. Regardless, that was only the introduction of the workout. The real and most important work begins now. Hypertrophy training, which is how we build our strength in the first place. The heavy singles actualize our performance, refine the skill of maxing, and set the correct percentages for our program, but we can't do that exclusively. Not to mention the fact that a bigger muscle has more strength potential. So as you can see, I'm hitting 3x10 with 2.5 plates, which confirms my statements about Larson pressing, as there really does appear to be a 10% number difference. Not surprising, since the longer you bench, the more technically proficient you get. And at the same time, this proves that you don't lose the ability to use leg drive. Like, I literally got one-to-one carryover from all the Larson work, and I'm ecstatic about that. I especially noticed the lockout improvements of all things. Anyway, this is really good rep work, and based off these PRs, my bench press is probably slightly under 4 plates, and that's not an over-exaggeration.
Wow, that went really well.
It just goes to show that even when coming out of a shredded, depleted state, you don't lose the bulk gains. So I hope this convinces you to stop fearing fat accumulation, since the net effect is 100% worth it. Anyhow, let's now do some overhead press. In my last workout video, many were asking why vertical presses were not included. My response is that I'm only doing OHP about once a week, which allows me to reap the many benefits that I'm always talking about while being able to have more specificity in the grand context of my program. I also find my shoulder recovery is better this way, and progressive overload doesn't seem to be that different. Now for the weights used, I'm over a plate again, and I'm trying to get a full range of motion with minimal back bending, though you can't avoid it completely. And as I get closer to failure, some pausing may be included. Now these really light up my delts and tris and pump up the upper back.
OHP gets hard very quick. It's unbelievable.
And yes, they give carryover to the bench press, which is another reason why they're prioritized year round. I found that if you're a brute force bencher like me that uses a medium to closer grip, it works. It's really those super technical wide grip benchers that don't benefit as much from OHP, not to mention the crazy arches that you see out here. But for everyone else, it's pretty much fair game. Moving forward, here we got the V-bar pushdown. I jumped 10 pounds from last time and definitely got more intense. Now if you're thinking that's not a lot of weight, it's because your gym isn't using a single pulley. My home way will have you using very similar weights to barbell extensions. Like, it's actually scary. So someone that could do 3 plates on this exercise is a legit beast. And I can only imagine how big the triceps will become from reaching that. But really, the best part of pushdowns, beyond hypertrophy, is that they're easy on the elbows. It's one of the few tricep exercises that can be done year-round in any phase without causing recovery problems, which is exactly why I favor them so much. Highly recommend you go ham on close grip presses, overloads, etc., then isolate right after with these. The combo is simply unmatched. And there's a reason why many elite benchers live on pushdowns. So with that said, the pushing segment is complete. Now we're going to smash the pulls, starting with these unique rows on my new Bells of Steel belt squat machine. I consider these after looking at what Matt Wenning was doing. And after giving them an honest go, I immediately understood the benefits. First of all, you get a much larger range of motion than dumbbell rows. Why? Because the plates don't restrict the movement. You just grab onto any handle and get to work. Stretch at the bottom and get more of a bend in your arm while keeping a smooth, consistent rowing path, since it's predetermined. Secondly, These are really stable and easy on the lower back. Like, I actually like to lean my torso on the bar for a more parallel body angle, yet the spinal erectors are still not an issue since we're maximally braced. So these work well with my philosophy of blending your workouts. It's why I love inverted rows and chest supported rows in general. Like, why should you put more pressure on your lower back if you're already demolishing it with squats and deads? Heck, even the belt squat itself is helpful for that, which explains why I freaking own one. You need to think about recovery. And with this exercise, you can go very heavy and not feel trashed. In terms of feeling, it kind of resembles a dumbbell row and medals row combined, and it's certainly not an easy exercise, especially for the grip. So I eventually see myself strapping up, just like most of the heavy rows. Probably even going to go for the weighted stretch overload and allow myself to cheat a bit more. I think it's only normal to do this when you're past certain numbers, which is even more true on rows given the strength curve. I'm sorry, it's not going to be 100% strict. So besides that, I'm excited to push PRs, and for this session, these really lit up my back. Lats in particular were cramping, and with that neutral grip, I was able to keep everything tight and close to the body. So this was a good starting point. Simple ramping sets are great when you're doing new exercise, and yeah, you can expect more of these in upcoming workout videos. However, I can't say the same for these ghetto lat pull downs, at least not the weights being used. Tried 4 plates for the first time and it was really ugly, kind of ego lifting. That was a mistake.
Way too heavy. It's heavier than me, bro.
So I immediately dropped it down to 165, and that was the perfect load if you ask me. Simple, 2 sets of 10, going for that back squeeze felt great. And as you can see, my feet are on the power rack itself instead of being on the pins. Those are reserved for lighter loads, but not when you get close to your body weight. Regardless, even though this setup is awkward, the sensation you get in the back is amazing. Look at the contractions and direction of resistance. It's not 100% vertical. You're actually pulling diagonally, which is a better motion for the lats. Which is not on purpose. I have no choice but to do this, but this is what biomechanics experts recommend for lats. It keeps tension on them. Now obviously my grip is not neutral. The humerus could be tighter, but still, it's more biased than the regular way. So I had to point that out. And of course, show you this lat spread. I'm pumped, guys. Finally, we end off this workout with my least favorite exercise, curls. It's basic. The easy bar, much easier on the wrist, just sticking to low repetitions. And if I can't hit the rep zone I'm striving for, I'll do a little bit of rest pause, which was done twice in this segment. Gotta say, by this part of the workout, I was completely wrecked. Exhausted to the max, pumped in ways I can't even begin to describe, and feeling weak. So even doing a plate on these felt satisfactory. And I feel like my biceps are coming along. I'm just pushing the intensity. Form is okay, but at least I know when to stop. And yeah, I do allow my shoulders to come up a bit, and I always control the eccentric after hitting failure. Anyway, here's the last set. As you can see, my arms are completely ballooned from all this work, and I just can't wait to get these curls over with. I just need to eat and rest for a little bit. But it's not done. We do one final rest pause, strain to the max, hold it there for a little bit, and boom, we are done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this workout. Expect more like these soon, and I'll talk to you all in the next one.